Morning, guys. It's 7 a.m. here in Salt Lake City, and AMD is skyrocketing. And probably many of you guys out there who've been watching my videos talking about AMD AI integration of CPU and NPU are making crap loads of money. I'm getting bombarded with messages and just from people making so much money even before the market opens today from some of the videos you guys have watched over the last few months. And some of you guys and girls have been following me since on social media since 2008. So, I've been doing this quite a bit for a long time, and I want to give you more alpha. So here's the news. AMD is up over 36% pre-market. The market opens at 7:30 a.m. here in Utah, our time zone. And just the other day, I was talking about Nvidia, AMD, and OpenAI and integration of CPU, GPU, and NPU. Nvidia is one of those companies that actually has all three of those on many of their chips. So it's a big deal. I talked to you about how Intel is going to work with Nvidia. Nvidia injected over $5 billion into Intel so that they could possibly integrate their RTX chips and NPU technologies all together into the Intel CPU ecosystem. Now, this is not super new, but it is kind of new because this NPU is geared specifically for AI, which is AI processing, which is really, really cool, which is the next wave of technology. And we'll probably see quantum integration here soon as they can get that figured out, right? So those of you guys and girls that have AMD and even got it like end of last week, as of this moment of this video, you're probably up over 35%. Those of you that bought leaps are probably up 70% this morning. Those of you who it could be, depending what you bought, those of you that bought leveraged play 2x ETFs on AMD, you're up that amount. Now, those of you that bought shorter option plays, you could be up like 170% this morning. It was kind of comical. All right, but guess what, guys? Don't get FOMO because the opportunity has just begun in CPU, GPU, NPU integration. There's going to be a massive demand to get these manufactured here in the US. And I believe Intel and Nvidia are going to be the guys doing that. AMD, I just wanted to let you know how significant this deal is. So Sam Altman, the head of ChatGPT, his company's called OpenAI, is going to probably be able to own up to 10% of AMD in this alliance. Why this alliance? Why is it happening? Well, you obviously want to have that tight-knit relationship. I think AMD saw what I was talking about the other day about Nvidia and Intel coming together because Nvidia has the GPU technology and all the AI power, and they approached Intel, participated there, put $5 billion. The government's getting involved with Intel, and it's a catalyst. And the reason why, though, is U.S. manufacturing plants that Intel owns, and if Nvidia can develop chips in the same plants that they have, or build more plants U.S. based that are already have entitlements for land, that's a big, huge deal. Now, AMD, which is really cool, they manufacture a lot of their chips, again, like Nvidia, through TSMC and different companies that are outsourced outside the USA, took a little bit different approach. They're like, let's integrate directly with OpenAI, with ChatGPT, the actual company that makes the most popular AI software in the world that you're using. So we're going to see massive integrations there. And I'd hold on to your hat here because I think Elon he's huge into data center too and robotics. And I think you're going to see a huge announcement from Elon in the next couple days, maybe tomorrow or, in the next little bit. You're going to watch him be able to integrate his technology with some of these other companies as well. Which one? We don't know. What I do know is I really like Tesla. I like Nvidia. I like AMD. I've been talking about this. Literally, I've been talking about AMD in these videos hardcore for about like 7 years. I like them, and Nvidia, and OpenAI, awesome. Now, a lot of you guys don't know this, but you're gonna know after this video, because my goal is to help you build incredible legacy, generational wealth, so you can help your family through generations, but also help those that can't help themselves, and save all the dogs and cats, because I love dogs. See that? But I love tech as well. I want to show you something kind of funny. And again, my videos aren't fast. I like to take time to explain to you. I'm not there just for the hook or the engagement. I'm here to educate you so that you can create a legacy. Check this out. These are all the Intel chips since most of them. Since 1971, that's the 4004 processor, the 8008 processor, this actual processor, and it goes all the way through the line here. As you guys know, I served on Intel's board advisors for 17 years and retired, so I've got like most of their chips. As far as AMD goes, I love them. They're one of our biggest partners in what we sell, as well as Zydex and PC laptops. In fact, Lisa Su, she's the CEO of AMD. She gave me a little gift of one of their special chips, and she signed it and everything like that and sent it to me for Christmas a couple Christmases ago. And it was just so nice of them that actually she would take the time to do that. And a lot of the information I give you is built from 3 decades of relationships, 3 decades plus now. It's been since 1992 since I started PC laptops and got into tech. One of the first .coms, when everybody said .com, the internet was a scam, .coms were a scam. Internet is not a scam. And either is blockchain, it is not a scam. And either is AI or quantum computing or NPU or small nuclear energy to power these data centers. Okay, so let me give you some more alpha. It is early. I'm barely caffeinating myself with this guru here. Ooh, helps me a little bit. I like them because they're organic and yerba mate. Okay, I divest. So let's go back to what Microsoft is doing. Microsoft, controls close to over 50% of OpenAI. Did you know that? So I've been telling you guys, Microsoft itself, even without the OpenAI play, is doing really, really well and a phenomenal company. But if Microsoft controls over almost 50% or more of OpenAI, and that may be fluctuating a little bit, and now OpenAI is going to control 10% of AMD, does that mean that Microsoft controls OpenAI, which controls AMD, which means Microsoft now controls part of AMD? Have you thought about that? Interesting. You go chart Microsoft and tell me what you think. And as I've told you before, Microsoft controls a massive amount of data hosting for AI and everything on the internet because they own Microsoft Azure. Guys, these are the pieces of the cake. You don't want to just look at the cake. You want to look at the pieces of the cake, the ingredients of the cake. And that's what makes you pretty happy, because if you could buy the components of the cake, that's where I believe the money is. Now, today, I think you're probably going to see gold and silver and all that stuff. I haven't checked those charts yet this morning, but do really well. I think crypto may take a good little juicy bump. It sustained over the weekend over $120,000 of Bitcoin. I think it tapped like 123, 124, somewhere in there, which is actually good for the whole crypto market as far as going to this bull run here for the next few months. And the reason is Bitcoin goes up first, then Ethereum, then you'll see a lot of other alts, mid caps, small caps, ultra, micro caps start to rise. You see this also in tech stocks as well. So I think when you watch the market open here, it's 7:11 right now at 7:30 a.m. Utah time. You're going to see some incredible plays. And those of you that made some moves last week watching my videos, those of you who made moves over the years have always done pretty well watching my videos, educating you. Again, I don't give you financial advice. I'm just a tech entrepreneur, and I'm sharing with you what I'm doing that my mentor taught me, and he told me to help people the way he helped me when I had zero and he came to Utah with $50 and was broke and walking around without even an apartment. So I love you guys. This is so exciting. So what do I recommend you do? No, do not ape huge life savings into AMD. I'm going to probably grab myself a little bit more. I dollar cost average, right? I've been accumulating AMD for many, many years, but I felt extra bullish about it here in the last, since about, April, a little after April. You can chart it since then. You can watch my videos since then. But the past doesn't equal the future. So looking forward, what you can do is, again, take some massive action. I want you to really watch my previous videos. Just go back and watch at least 2 or 3 of them. I know some of them are super long because I love to chat. But I think it's better education than you'll get paying for college. Getting these direct messages from you guys of how much wealth you've built for your family legacy is very exciting to me. And it gets me up every morning to just really want to work hard. I really want to work hard for our investors at the Ugly Unicorn Crypto Hedge Fund. Those of you that don't know, I run a hedge fund with Bridger Pennington. It's called the Ugly Unicorn. You can go to uglyunicorn.com and check it out. We take kind of a Warren Buffett approach to crypto in that we're not day traders or anything like that with our crypto. We're long positions. We do like long-term capital gains better than anything as far as taxable positions. We invest primarily in mid and small cap. And so we made pretty decent money in 23 and 24. And 25 has been pretty flat for the fund overall because we're primarily in mid and small cap. But we believe our day in the sun for this year is going to be pretty much right about now for the next few months. And if this market super cycles, wow. That's going to be really interesting for large, mid, and small and micro caps, I think, long term, though. But what we look for in our fund is functional utility. So does the token actually do something? And I talked about Avalanche. I'm not saying you should buy Avalanche, but that's one of the ones that we deployed into when it was super cheap. And Avalanche, they digitized 40 million car titles in California. And so I look, and Bridger and I look at crypto as software, just like in the early 90s and early 2000s. We looked at a lot of the internet technology as software platform. And that's what a lot of the stuff that we invested into. I invested into at that time. Bridger was probably, he was like two years old at that time. But I was there doing that. If you're interested in the Ugly Unicorn Crypto Hedge Fund, just direct message me if it's a right fit for you. Remember, it's for accredited investors or higher 100 grand or higher minimum deployment. And so just direct myself if that's something you might be interested in. If you're a home gamer and you're not accredited yet, this is why I create these videos, because I think 99.9% of you guys and girls are not accredited, which means you have $1 million net worth or more besides your primary residence, and there's a couple qualifications. But my goal is to help you achieve accreditation or higher, so you can really take care of your family and friends. All right, guys, if you found this video helpful, before that, I want to give you just some action items for yourself. If you're FOMOing into AMD, if you're FOMOing into D-Wave and all that, look, just if you have to, just think about maybe considering getting a smaller amount than an ape amount. One of you guys messaged me yesterday and was like, dude, I only put a couple grand into it, and I should have just put my whole life savings into D-Wave like you talked about. I go, no, I didn't tell you to buy any of it, but especially I didn't tell you to put your whole life savings into D-Wave, because he was like, I would have been up 1,000% or something like that, And I'm like, dude, dollar cost average. Pick the companies that you like, the cryptos that you like, the precious metals that you like. And let's say you have an extra $500 a month or $100 a month or $100,000 a month or $100 million a month. Just chop that up in those sectors and try not to pick more than, if you're a home gamer, more than a few, 5 max in each of those sectors. Because if you're spread too thin, though, it's not going to make a meaningful difference. So if you're only putting away $100 or $1,000 a month, I would pick a couple precious metals. I will pick a few stocks, not more than 5. I would pick maybe same thing with crypto. And what's cool is you can buy fractional shares of precious metal stocks and crypto. So if you go to fidelity.com and you set up an account there, at least for all 3 of those, if you're a home gamer, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You don't have to buy a whole share of AMD or whatever your Nvidia or whatever you're looking at. And you don't have to buy a whole share of any of this. You can buy a fractional share. You just put in a dollar amount. So if it's like $20, literally you're going to buy $20 in it. And for many trades, Fidelity charges 0, which is killer. Because back when I was like 21 years old, these stockbrokers would make a killing off of you. And now you've got this digital stuff like Fidelity, and you got Coinbase. And Coinbase does charge some exchange fees, but if you use advanced trading, it's very fair. And Fidelity is phenomenal. A lot of trades cost you nothing, and I don't think it costs you anything to open an account there. And make sure you talk to your CPA, whether you want a traditional IRA, a Roth IRA, this is for tax purposes and retirement purposes, or just a traditional brokerage account. All right, guys, if you found this video helpful, you know how much it cost? $100,000? No, it costs you 0. Just take a moment to share and comment on this and like this to get the engagement up a little bit so we can help more other people. Because how much am I charging you? 0. I'm asking you to take action, share and comment on this. Let me know below if you own AMD or if you own Nvidia or whatever you own. But I'm more interested if you own Nvidia this morning. Because in about you're going to be able to trade this on normal open market here in about 11 minutes. And some of you guys probably made millions of dollars this morning. I'm sure happy. All right, guys, go hit it.